Montes de Oro, from our farms to your cup. Montes de Oro proudly presents Granos de Oro. Granos de Oro has taken years to ensure you receive only the finest grains of gold. A process that should never be rushed. We have spent years cultivating and growing the finest beans, months harvesting the plumpest cherries, and hours selecting only the very best for your cup. Follow the journey from our farms to your cup. A bean is born. Our beans begin life in the shade of the highest mountains, where their tips graze the cloud forests that sit at 4,500 feet. This produces a denser, plumper bean and allows us to bring you coffee that is strictly categorised as hard bean, high altitude grown, prestigious labels renowned for a fuller flavour. Perfectly plump. These are an example of our vibrant, beautiful, slow-grown red cherries that are full of moisture from the aquifer springs. Depending on variety, the colours may vary from sun gold yellow to deep russet red. These are ready to be picked, and from our farm in Honduras, we will spend hours ensuring only the best make it to the next step of our coffee process. A thorough cleanse. Now the hand-picked cherries are carefully placed in our processors to begin their journey from bush to cup. They are cleaned thoroughly using only natural spring water, ensuring you taste only the full flavour of our grains of gold and nothing else. Bye-bye pulp. The fat cherries then move onto this machine that removes the pulp from each bean. This produces the beans you'll be familiar with. However, they've still got a long way to go. Raw beans. These raw beans are then washed again and again to ensure only the grains of gold remain. Then, using the expertise that spans generations, our skilled growers use their supreme knowledge to determine the time the beans should ferment in fresh mountain water. Drenched in sunshine. These raw beans are then gently dried in the sun until they reach a specific moisture content of 24%. They then travel to a benefico, where wood-fired machines will complete the process, leaving your bean with a moisture of 12%. This ensures the beans are preserved naturally until they are ready to be used in your coffee. A modern process for an ancient delicacy. Wood-fired machines, incredible pure natural heat. Halfway there. These green beans have now undergone a myriad of selection processes to ensure only the finest remain. Not one discoloured, disfigured or tasteless bean has been allowed to make it to this processing point. Ready to roast. The beans aren't simply thrown into a pan to roast, as we take time to determine the optimum degree of roasting for the fullest flavour. Our professional cupper roasts a few at a time to determine which technique yields the best results. He is famous for his discerning palate that he has trained over decades, and he has the ability to detect every note in every bean, from aroma to taste. Grains of gold. These are our beautiful grains of gold. Imagine picking up handfuls and letting them flow through your fingers as the fragrance fills the air. They taste even better than they look, especially after our cupper treats them with the respect they deserve to bring them to your cup. The cupper's table. This is the cupper's table, where he uses space to ensure his palate isn't infiltrated by the scents of another bean. The process is so intricate that we'll start from the beginning so you can follow the master at work through every step. careful measures. Meet Mario. He's our professional cupper and a perfectionist when it comes to coffee. He has to measure the exact same amount of beans for every test, so all the results are fair. Grinding. Mario now grinds his roasted treasures so he may further his magic touch. Welcome back. Now he takes his samples and numbers each one for ease of identification later. This ancient tradition is used to determine the best roast to use, along with the depths of flavours, so we can describe the taste of your coffee to you before you buy. Experiments. Amazingly, there's a lot of difference between every single bean, as different roasting times and different grinding methods bring out unique flavours that are unlike any other grain of gold. Many samples. Every time Mario samples the coffee, he detects different notes, aromas and flavours. That's why he doesn't just taste once, he tastes many, many times. Aroma. The aroma is crucial to a cupper, as the right aroma will awaken your taste buds and tempt your mind before you've poured the liquid gold into your cup. Here Mario uses his perfectly tuned nose to distinguish the different notes of each individually roasted bean. Documenting. Mario documents every stage, so when he does encounter the best bean, he knows how to replicate it, down to the last note. The sheet he is filling in here is a table where he records the taste, the aroma, the undertones, the acidity, sweetness, strength, feel, aftertaste and balance. He grades each criteria using his own number system. A perfectionist at work. Mario returns to each phase many times to ensure he has graded the beans correctly. Perfection and precision is key to a magnificent ground coffee. Heating things up. Now Mario moves on to the wet stage, where freshly boiled water is poured over the grind to release the flavours. The nose knows. Mario then uses his nose again, as through his vast knowledge he understands the strength of the link between fragrance and flavour. The aromas change when wet, so Mario must assess which one smells the best. A silver spoon. For generations, cuppers have used a solid silver spoon when stirring or tasting the coffee. This ensures only the flavour of the bean remains and isn't tainted by lesser materials such as steel compounds or plastic. Every one of these 4 cups holds a unique roast, and Mario must decide which one is the best. Moving along. He slowly moves along using the silver spoon to scoop up the froth that has formed on the top. He tests this for the aromas and writes down any flavours or notes he can detect. A patient man. Mario is a very patient man, and he knows that only by taking his time will he achieve the best results. This is his life, and it is a great accolade to be known as a cupper, as the palate of a cupper is highly respected, and they can make or break a coffee company. Equality. Every sample is treated in exactly the same way, and if Mario accidentally takes too much liquid onto the spoon, or he becomes distracted during the examination, he starts all over again to ensure each sample receives the same intense concentration. Settled, not stirred. Stirring the coffee disturbs the grains, so Mario gently removes the excess grind from the surface before beginning the task of tasting. A taste sensation. Using the same precision and accuracy as Mario has throughout the entire process, he now carefully tastes tiny teaspoons of coffee using a method taught to him by his ancestors. Swilling. Mario will swill the liquid around his mouth so he can determine the feel and the texture. This all adds to the perfect description. Documenting. Each flavour note is carefully documented. Hot and cold. This process of tasting takes an incredibly long time, as Mario will taste each sample at different temperatures as it cools. A quality coffee will hold its texture, strength and flavour despite the lack of heat. Second opinion. Mario rarely asks for a second opinion. However, he will invite others to taste the fine beans once the process is over. He enjoys others' reactions when they taste the superior bean that he has handled with absolute care. Experts at work. Through the expertise of these men, we learn the best way to extract the fullest flavour from every cup. We pass this treasure on to you so that you can enjoy the grains of gold, only at their very best. Every day we are blown away by our surroundings where our coffee is grown and harvested, and we hope that when you're drinking a cup, you'll feel transported to the cloud forest of Gold Mountain, where nature surrounds every bean. Montes de Oro, from our farms to your cup.